Radio 104.9 FM, bringing the community together since 2002. This is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Aluwalia from Aluwalia Law Offices. So if you want to reach us right now to ask a legal question, you must give us a call at 972-235-5555. That's the number in the studio. And for private consultation, the number would be 972-361-0606. The website is aluvalialaw.com. You can also type in yourdesilawyer.com. That will redirect you to aluvalialaw.com. So if you have any questions right now for Pallavi, in regards to employment or family-based immigration matters, family law, corporate law, civil matters, give us a call right now. Once again, the number in the studio, it is 972-235-5555. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to welcome Pallavi Aluwalia on the airwaves of Phanisha Radio 104.9 FM. A very good morning to you, Pallavi.
A wonderful morning to you, Meetu. Thank you so much again. Wednesday morning with Your Business Matters and for hosting me as always with such grace. We are happy to be here every Wednesday morning and to be able to answer questions for the community and also bring you any updates that I find pertinent to the community and something that everyone cares about. So this is quite a varied time that we're experiencing, at least in my 15 years almost now of practice, about immigration being such a hot topic. Every day, if you were to just pull up the newspaper, you would see at least 2 or 3 pertinent matters that would impact some immigrant or the other. It could be a deportation-based update. It could be something about a travel ban. And we're constantly here, always looking to see what's going on from the government standpoint. So it keeps things pretty active for us to keep up with. However, at this point, I know that a lot of our community that's here, who's here, has questions on us for employment-based immigration. And though things have been a bit tight with H-1Bs, and there have been a lot of different forms of audits on filing a bona fide application. We're seeing that that is nothing has happened to the quota yet. The quota is still on. The regulation that they were going to pass through Congress to decrease the number of H-1Bs haven't happened, or any changes to it hasn't happened. However, the Immigration Service in itself has kind of cracked down a bit and has come down harder on H-1Bs this season in terms of getting them approvals. This is also an update for everyone out there, and that is that we want employers that have in-house projects to check the bona fides of their projects. If you have an in-house project by which you had filed for an H-1B for a prospective employee, FDNS is showing up. And this is serious. Don't disregard it. They are coming to check the validity of your project. We have a lot of our clients, and shout out to all of them that have been able to prove the validity of their projects. But you have to make sure that nothing is on paper. It is what it is in terms of it being a real thing. So you'll have to prove that to the government. So I know I've been going on my monologue, and I would love to engage in a dialogue here with the community. So, Meetu, do we have calls that we can connect to?
Absolutely. We always appreciate that, Pallavi, the updates that you give us. And now going to the calls, opening all the lines for all of you, all our listeners here, 972-235-5555. All right. You are, I think we just lost those... I think I just lost Pallavi. So hang in with me. Phanisha Radio, you are live on the air. Go ahead and please ask your question.
Hello, ma'am. I have a question for Pallavi, ma'am. My brother has a green card, and since he's studying in India, he couldn't come often to America. So we applied for a re-entry permit. So I'm calling, and that got expired too. So what's the next step we should do in order to bring him? Because he'll be done with his studies by March of 2018.
Yeah, so I'm hearing your voice, but it's a little choppy, so I could just get parts of it, and let me repeat, and you can correct me if I got that wrong. So you have a brother who has a green card, who stepped out on a re-entry permit, which has since expired, and he has not entered the country right now, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and what held him back there? What was the reason
Because
he couldn't come back in?
he has his medical studies going on, so he has to finish for 5 years, but within those 5 years, he came to America for like 1 or 2 months, and then he has to go back because of his studies.
Okay, so how long has it been since his re-entry permit was expired?
The re-entry permit got expired in June of 2017.
Okay, and how long has he not been back?
And he came in 2016, June.
He did come in 2016?
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Okay, so at this point, I mean, there's one choice to do it as SB1, which is a returning resident visa, which means that you can go to the consulate, you have to apply for forms, and you ask them to allow you to enter the country. Now, you said he came in 2016, but when in 2016? Was it the end or the beginning?
He came in like June of 2016.
So he's gone past the year for right now. So
Yeah.
he's actually a good category. I mean, he's a good candidate for that category, and that is that SB1. It is called a returning resident visa. He should try that. He has to show some circumstances that did not that prevented him from being able to come, whether he had exams going on or something that he could not manage for the entire year. And if the government thinks that he fits into that category, then he will be given a stamp of the green card on his passport, and he has to come here and await the green card again. So you will have to, this has to be applied for at the consulate, which is closest to where he lives.
Okay, so he can do it from India as well?
Well, depends on if he can. These are DS forms. They have to be done online. Okay, and you have to go through the entire process of that and make your arguments. It has to be a whole package that the government looks at. So depending on what his comfort level is in producing affidavits or anything like that, he'll have to do it that way.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. SB1, right? Okay.
SB1, it's SB1 or returning resident visa.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate it.
All right, all the best.
Thank you for your call. 972-235-5555 number in the studio. You are live on the air. Please go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi.
Hi, Pallavi. My husband and I have been on green card for almost 5 years, completing this December. My question is, if we're to start the process for application of the citizenship, what is the time frame from start to finish for this whole process to complete?
It's taking about 10 months. I'd say 9 to 10 months at least. At this time, we've heard of a slowdown there, and it could even be longer. You're eligible at this point if your 5 years run out in December. So 3 months prior is when you're eligible to apply. So that should be now. And once you apply, you would expect your fingerprinting, and once the fingerprinting clears, then an interview and then the oath ceremony.
Okay, so 10 months to a year approximately right now.
Correct.
All right, thank you, Pallavi.
All the best.
Thank you for your call. For all those who are tuning in just now, this is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. The number to reach them if you want to seek a private consultation, the number would be 972-361-0606. AhluwaliaLaw.com is the website. You can also type in your.dclawyer.com and that will take you to AhluwaliaLaw.com. All right, going to our next caller, Phanisha Radio. You're live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi.
Hi, good morning. Thank you all, especially Pallavi. Thank you for your time. I was just wondering if you can, I have one question. My wife, she applied for EB3 and we have recently received a letter, and only one letter for her asking for interview and with the medical examination. We are 4, but we didn't send any for all of us. Only one letter has came to us, and then they asked for interview. Is there any reason they are asking her for interview, or could you just elaborate a little bit, please? Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, of course. In September of this year, there was an announcement. I think it was about September 7th. There was an announcement from the government that everybody at this time will be going through an interview in addition to the regular process of whether you have to do a request for evidence or if they have a medical requirement. But looks like they're combining both, and that's heartening to hear, because you don't want to go through a request for evidence first and then end up with an interview. The interview has now become mandatory for all employment-based cases. This was just from this past month, this announcement was. So we're going to see a lot more people now going through the interview and to prove up their case to the government here in whatever address that you put in there, the district office related to that address. So here it would be the Dallas office.
All right, thank you. I think that answered his question entirely. Moving on to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio, you are live on the air. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Pallavi. Thanks for taking my call. I have two questions. One which is an extension of the previous caller question about N-400. I applied for N-400 in April of this year, first week of April, and got my fingerprinting done. After that, haven't heard anything. So the question is, which I assume you partly gave the answer, it is normal and we need to wait. And the second question I had is, in March last week, end of the March, I applied also for my green card renewal. And we went through our fingerprinting, and after that we did not hear anything. So do you have any timeline for the...
for the green card renewal, it takes about 15 months.
Okay, so they have given us... So when we went for our fingerprinting, they did give us a temporary extension for the travel purposes. On the back of the card, they punched a strip and pasted it there. And that will expire in February of this 2018, February end. So if it is going to take 15 months, so it will definitely gone past that period.
But
so what
by
are the
that
options
time you should be, but by that time you should have had an interview for the N-400 as well. Right? So you said you did apply for an N-400, right? In April?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Okay, they're taking about 9 to 10 months with that. So prior to your green card expiration, it is quite possible that you get the N-400 interview and perhaps an oath ceremony. And if that were not to happen and you are still kind of waiting on both, then you would take an info pass appointment and you would take your green card and your passport to them, and they would stamp it for 6 more months.
Oh, so they will take that, rip off that strip and then add it one more.
Correct.
Okay,
if you don't have any other options that appear before then.
Okay, got it. Thank you very much, Pallavi.
You take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for your call. 972-235-5555 number in the studio. We just lost that call. Give us a call back. 972-235-5555 number in the studio. Going on to our next caller. On Asia Radio, you're live on the air. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, so I'm a U.S. citizen. My mom is in Pakistan. She has a U.S. visa. So my question is, should I call her here and get the green card process? Or when she's there, I should start the process? Which one is easy and how long does it take?
Well, you cannot plan for her to come here on a visitor visa and then apply for a green card for them. That's against the law, because a lot of people do that, but that is when you come in and you have a change in your plan. You came in as a visitor, but you ended up staying here. Okay, but you can't make that your plan. That's not... the process that you should follow would be to file the I-130, and once that I-130 gets approved, then to go through the NVC. That is actually currently the shorter way to do it. So the adjustment of status, because it requires other benefits, or it allows other benefits, such as employment authorization, the advanced parole, they have more delays here in the country at this point. So if somebody has an option of doing it through the NVC, we suggest that you go through and do it through the NVC.
All right. Thank you so much, Pallavi. Moving on to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio, you're live on the air. Can you please turn off your radio before you ask your question? Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I have asked the questions last week also, but I have a little confusion on my questions, on the answers I got.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm and my children are in the green card status since 2014. So I'm sending them back to the Nepal. So we are in the DV status, and
Okay.
I would like to send them for 2 years by stamping the papers. So at the time when they get back to the Nepal, at the time when they are in there, can I do the tax file or not on behalf of them, like as a dependent?
Yeah, I think you're right. If you're asking me a question that belongs to a CPA, then I would not be able to answer it. So you have to talk to a CPA about that question. They should be your dependents if you're still taking care of them. And I went through a logical answer with you, but I think you should still go through a CPA and ask that question, sir. All right?
Okay,
because
so
that on your tax returns is not an immigration question at all. They're allowed to go in with that re-entry permit, and they are allowed to be outside the country for 2 years, not an issue. If you're taking care of their expenses, I think IRS should allow you to call them their dependents, call them your dependents. However, that should be something a licensed, certified public accountant should answer for you. All right?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right.
And one,
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, he does have one more question. Let me
Yes.
listen to
yes,
his
one more question, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead.
So the length of the period will be the 365 multiplied by 2. That means 2 years. We have to make the short period like the 715 days or something like that.
No, it will be the length of the period would be stated on the re-entry permit as to when it's valid from to date. You will have a date on there.
Okay.
So it's
So
not
what
365 days, just like it would be from the time it gets approved. It will be for 24 months after that.
Okay, so while we get back to the U.S., we have to bring that documentation.
You have to return within the validity, otherwise they would have abandoned their green card.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
All the best to you.
Yeah, good day.
Thank you so much for your call. Moving on to our next caller. Once again, the number in the studio, it is 972-235-5555. This is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. For appointments, you can shoot an email to frontdesk@ahluwalialaw.com or you can call at 972-361-0606. All right, you are live on the air. Please go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Pallaviji. My employer is applying my EB1, and the EB1 applying the green card. And right now the dates are current for the AOS step. And they're applying it concurrently. My question is that when the 140 is approved, will the agency still check that 485 is current, or will they continue because at the time of
Yeah, so at the time the eligibility happens, which means once the I-140 does get approved, at that time the visas have to be available for you to get processed. Otherwise, they will wait for the visa bulletin to show availability for it. So it's EB1C that you're going under?
I'm on L1A visa, yeah. EB1.
Yeah, so EB1C. EB1C is your category. Okay, and if that's what you're going under, yes, the I-140 cannot be premium processed. It has to go through, it takes about a year for it to get approved. And in that 1 year, after that 1 year and after it gets approved is when they will look to see if your category is current or not for you to get the green card through it.
So applying doesn't give an advantage. Concurrent applying doesn't really give an advantage.
Yeah, it's not giving you any advantage except that you're pending there. So if someone were to run out of the L time, they can continue working with the EAD. So say, for example, the L visas, you're past your 7 years, that's when you will find the fact that you have an EAD that allows you to work to be important. Otherwise, if you still have a lot of remaining time, it has no advantage. We actually prefer to first get the I-140 sorted out before you put more applications in. So the I-140's approval is key to this. And once you put in adjustments, the adjustment filing fees are $12.25 each, right? So that's a lot of pending cases to pile on top of the I-140. I like it where you can get the I-140 cleared and then you file for the adjustment of status. But if you're running out of time, of course, it's a good strategy.
Understood. And for one of the I-94s for my dependent, the date of entry is different from all others. We went for a holiday, came back in January. For me and my kids, it's the right date. For my wife, it's an older date. First, we entered in North America. Will that
you may have to, yes. This is a mess with CBP just running this process and not very correctly sometimes. I would ask you to just set up an appointment at the airport and go and show it to them and tell them and see if they can correct it. If they can't, then you have what you have.
Understood. Many thanks.
All right, so just do try though.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your call. We have exactly 2 minutes to go. Pallavi, do you think we can take another call very quickly?
Yes, one more quickly. Yes.
All right. So you are our last caller. You have to be really quick to ask your question to Pallavi. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, hi. My name is Jagdish. I have a question related to I-140. My I-140 was approved by company A. Then I moved to company B, and they told they are going to withdraw my I-140. It's after 6 months. They told like they are going to withdraw it. And now the company B, they are not going to file my green card, and I'm currently on the 5th year. So if I go past the 6th year, will I be able to renew my H-1B based on the revoked or withdrawn I-140?
Yes, you may be able to. You just need for the I-140 to have been approved for at least 180 days. If it was approved for 180 days, whether with employer A or B, you could use it for your H-1B extensions past your 6 years. And you can also keep porting the priority date if it had been open.
Okay. So even if I do, after 6 years, even if I do H-1B transfers or anything, it will work, right?
Correct, yes. This rule happened in January of 2017 and it is valid.
All right. Perfect timing. Thank you so much, Pallavi, for doing it every week between 10:30 to 11 on Wednesdays. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Meetu, for hosting me. I look forward to coming back next week.